have thought about how Post-Impressionism came about? To answer that, let's further discuss about this movement. Post-Impressionism is an art movement originated in France during the 19th century, spanning approximately from 1886 to 1905. It emerged as a reaction to Impressionism, focusing on elements beyond naturalistic portrayal of light and color. The term Post-Impressionism was first coined by the art critic Roger Fry in 1906, although indeed Frank Rother reviewing the Salon d'Automne referring to Autumn Fries as one of the leading figures of the movement. The art style deviates from Impressionist techniques, prioritizing emotional expression, subjective experiences, and symbolic content over the Impressionist focus, who often depicts scenes from nature with naturalistic color and light. The post-impressionist artists experimented with form, color, and composition to express deeper states of the psyche or emotions. The principal artists of this movement were Paul Cézanne, often referred as the father of post-impressionism, Paul Gauguin, Vincent van Gogh, and Georges Seurat. Each contributed uniquely, with Cézanne's structural forms, Gauguin's symbolism, Van Gogh's emotive brushworks, and Seurat's pioneering pointillism shaping modern art's trajectory. Post-Impressionism is characterized by its broad and abstract characteristics, and it is composed of 6 different types of art, along with some Impressionist work, including Les Nobis, Neo-Impressionism, Symbolism, Cloynism, the Pont-Aven School, and Synthetism.
Now, let's discuss each of the type of Post-Impressionism, starting with Les Nobis, a Hebrew word which means prophets. The group preferred the title prophets because they felt it is more important to offer spiritual guidance through painting over representational reality. Next up is Neo-Impressionism, an art movement founded by Georges Seurat, featuring his most well-known piece, A Sunday Afternoon in the Land of La Grande Jatte, from 1884 to 1886. Neo-Impressionist artists often paints modern urban scenes, landscapes, and seasides. Moreover, this movement is characterized by a science-based interpretation of colors and lines. Third is Cloisonnism. It is a style characterized by bold and flat forms separated by dark contours. And the name is taken from the French word cloisonner, which means a method in which wires are soldered to the piece's body, filled with glass powder, and then burned. And you know that the Yellow Christ in 1889 by Paul Gauguin is regarded as one of the key Cloisonnist works. Next up is Symbolism, a late 19th century art movement led by the French, Russians, and Belgians. Featuring poetry and other forms of arts, it aims to represent absolute truth through symbolic, metaphorical images and languages, purposefully contradicting naturalism and realism. Another type of Post-Impressionism is the Pont-Aven School, a school that includes works influenced by the French town called Pont-Aven. The school emerged in the 1850s and lasted through the early 20th century, and many of its artists are inspired by Paul Gauguin. They employ bold colors and symbolic subject matter. Lastly is Synthetism. The term was used by artists like Paul Gauguin, Emily Bernard, and Louise Anquetin to distinguish their work from Impressionism. The term was derived from the French verb synthesizer, meaning to synthesize or to combine in order to form a new complex product.
Now, let us know the notable artists of this period and their significant artworks. First is Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist painter who is among the most famous and influential figures in the history of Western art. His oeuvre includes landscapes, still lifes, portraits, and self-portraits, most of which are characterized by bold colors and dramatic brushwork that contributed to the rise of Expressionism in modern art. Moreover, its artworks includes The Starry Night, The Potato Eaters, Cafe Terrace at Night, and its self-portrait with bandaged ear. The Starry Night is one of the most iconic and widely interpreted works of art. It uses oil as its base for painting. It depicts a vibrant night sky swirling with stars and a crescent moon, set over a quiet village with a prominent cypress tree in the foreground. He painted this with inner turmoil and emotional intensity during his time in a mental asylum, while the peaceful town below contrasts with the chaos above. The painting captures the tension between the external calm and the artist's inner emotional world, using bold colors and expressive brushstrokes to convey deep feelings. Next is Paul Cézanne. Paul Cézanne is known as the father of modern art because of his innovative approach to form color and composition. He was a French post-impressionist artist whose work laid the foundation for the transition from 19th century artistic concepts to the modern art movements of the 20th century, particularly Cubism. His techniques were groundbreaking, emphasizing the geometric structure of objects by breaking them down into basic shapes like cubes, spheres, and cones. He also applied paint in thick, visible brushstrokes, building up texture and depth, and used contrasting colors to model form and create volume. He is the painter of the Basket of Apples, which is a still life oil painting. The art represents a use of everyday objects like apples may symbolize abundance and the permanence of nature.
Next is Paul Gauguin. He was a French post-impressionist painter, one of the leading figures in the Symbolist movement and a pioneer of modern art. He is best known for his use of vivid colors, innovative compositions, and the way he incorporated cultural influences into his works. One of his known artwork is Where Do We Come From? What are we? Where are we going? The painting is considered a philosophical work comparable to the themes of the Gospels. It is depicted as the most profound and iconic paintings exploring the existential questions of life, death, and human existence. The composition is divided into 3 sections, each representing a different stage of life: birth and childhood on the left, adulthood and contemplation in the center, and death and the afterlife on the right.
Last is Georges Seurat. Georges Seurat is best known for developing the technique of pointillism, a method of painting in which small dots or strokes of color are applied to the canvas. Rather than blending pigments traditionally, Seurat's technique relies on optical mixing, where the viewer's eye blends the colors from a distance. The most famous work he painted is a Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte, which exemplifies this style and showcases his meticulous approach to color theory and composition. The painting depicts Parisians leisurely spending a Sunday afternoon on the banks of the Seine River, capturing a snapshot of urban life in the late 19th century.
So from that, we could see that Post-Impressionism marks a transformative period in art history, bridging Impressionism and modern art. It emphasized the individual expression and the bold experimentation of colors and lines, and moved away from naturalistic depictions.